There's something about the night, when everything quiets down. That's when my brain starts to pick up speed. I can go through an entire day feeling fine, even stable. And then the evening hits, and it's like someone flipped a switch in my chest. Suddenly I'm pacing, fidgeting, scrolling, spiraling. There's this pressure building in my body that I have to get out. It feels like electricity under my skin, like lightning trying to escape. And the worst part is it's invisible to everyone else. No one sees the chaos because it shows up when the world is asleep. The other night was one of those nights. I was tired. I should have been tired, but my body felt wired. I turned off the lights, I pulled the covers up, and then the thoughts started, loud, fast. Everything I hadn't finished, everything I'd said wrong, every failure, every almost. The longer I laid there, the worse it got. And that inner voice, the one I try so hard to soften, started whispering things like, "You're failing, you're falling behind again, you'll never figure this out. This is just who you are, too much, too broken, too late." I stared at the ceiling for hours, and when the sun came up, I didn't feel rested. I felt ashamed. I've asked myself this more times than I can count. Why does bipolar get so loud when everything else goes quiet? There's some science behind it. Partly biological, partly psychological. Our circadian rhythms are often off kilter, especially for those of us with bipolar. At night, our cortisol levels shift. There's no distraction, no busyness. The thoughts we've been dodging all day, they catch up. Add in the overstimulation of phones, noise, overstretched emotions, and it's just the perfect storm. Sometimes it feels like my brain is trying to solve every problem I've ever had at 2 a.m. And if you live with bipolar 2, like I do, these spirals can carry an energy with them. It's not always sadness. Sometimes it's this wired, relentless urgency. Not enough to be manic, just enough to wreck your nervous system. Here's what I've learned. After too many nights like that, I don't wait for the spiral to fix itself. I interrupt it. I soothe it, and I meet myself where I am, not where I wish I was. These are the tools I use when the spiral starts. First, prep the space. I turn off bright lights. I light a candle or use a warm lamp. I use a lavender pillow spray or roll essential oils on my wrist. Even if my body is tense, I want my environment to say, "You're safe, you're winding down." Second, phone down, brain off. This one is hard, but I try. Scrolling just feeds the spiral. So I'll switch to music or a gentle podcast, or I set my phone across the room and just breathe. Third, the midnight brain dump. I grab a notebook, no structure, no rules. I write whatever's flying through my mind, even if it's messy, even if it's nonsense. Sometimes I write a letter to my thoughts. I hear you, but I'm not fixing this tonight. I'm letting it rest now. Fourth, sensory grounding. I get out of my head and back into my body. I'll press an ice pack against my wrists. I wrap up in a weighted blanket. I rub lotion on my hands and focus only on that. It doesn't solve anything, but it reminds me that I'm here, that I'm not lost in the past or future. 5th, speak gently to myself. Not out loud always, but inwardly, I say, this is temporary. You've been here before. You're not failing. You're coming back. You know what I wish someone had told me? That nighttime spirals don't make you broken. That just because you're struggling after dark doesn't mean your whole day was fake or meaningless. That healing doesn't have a curfew. I wish someone had told me you don't have to earn your rest. You're not behind just because you didn't finish the to-do list. And that sometimes the most important thing you can do is just survive the night. If someone had told me that years ago, I think I would have cried. So I'm telling you now, in case no one else has. Some mornings I wake up after a night like that, and I feel the shame rising before I even get out of bed. But I've learned not to treat the spiral like a failure. It's just part of my brain, and I've survived every one so far. You have too. You might be tired. You might feel broken. But you are still here. Still trying, still worthy of rest. The spiral doesn't mean you're losing control. It just means that your brain is asking for care. So let's give it that. If you're listening to this at night, I want to leave you with something to hold on to. So wherever you are, under the covers, curled up in bed, eyes open or closed, just listen and let these words wrap around you. You are safe in this moment. You are not your thoughts. You are not your episode. You are not too much. You are allowed to rest even when your brain doesn't. You are allowed to be tired and still worthy. You have survived every night before this one, and you will survive this one too. Take a breath. Feel your heartbeat. Let go of the pressure to be okay. You are loved. You are healing. You are here. And that is enough. Now, before I go, just a reminder, I am not a licensed therapist or medical professional. Everything I share here is based on my own lived experience. If you are struggling or in need of support, please reach out to a licensed therapist or physician. You are not alone, and you deserve real help. This is I Am Hope in the Chaos, and I am Jamie, still spiraling sometimes, but always finding my way back.